Welcome at Cavoke Racing Network for another exciting race. We're gonna see over tonight the Formula 2 and Formula 1 in the Sunday night Skippy League here at Knockhill Racing Circuit. We're here in virtual Scotland, and we're already busy with the qualification. We're gonna have a quick look if we can already see something going on. I will have to disappoint you guys. Chris is tonight not with us, but has some other very important things to do. And here we see Melody Chance driving on her qualification. We're currently already quite a bit of time in qualification. Actually, exactly halfway through, we see Nicholas Mazza currently on the first position. Have a quick look at the different times that they drove. We see over here Nicholas Mazza 55.5 seconds for one lap, but a very, very short lap. Maybe we can go to have a quick look what Melody Chance is doing right over here. She goes into that first corner. First corner, you really need to throw it in there and keep it safe. And then comes this heartbreaking point. Need to take that exit point. And oh, you do see that Melody Chance is actually jumping right over there. And then comes the chicane. The chicane is blind over here. Need to cross that over here and don't end up in the grass or in the gravel. It looks like Melody is taking her chance on her own. That's not a word game, but Melody is taking the risk of driving on her own. Probably knows that she's very safe and can do this. And here she goes in that last corner. This is going to be the point where we're going to see some overtakes. It's a difficult track to overtake, but oh, we see she's actually going into the pit. Also good practice over here. So then we only see Christopher Goosey currently still driving. It looks like they changed the qualification. Normally it was an open qualification, but it seems that it's up here not an open qualification. Christopher Goosey completely on the back, number 20 with a 57.9. See if he can still improve himself. Doesn't look like it on the moment. But you can gain a lot if you take this corner right. He's taking a little bit too much of the inside. He does come over the line over here. Let's have a quick look. Is he going to compete? He is not going to be any faster, but he can still go on. So Christopher Goosey needs to make up quite a bit of time. Strike hard is his motto. Well, let's see how hard he strikes over here. And it doesn't look like that's how you have to take that corner. It looks very good, but it's not going to be the fastest time over here. And I don't even think he can do any faster than his first lap. But he goes again. It's one of the few people that is still out. I think the rest is all set a time already. Doesn't happen very often. Oh, and we do see that Christopher Goosey is also finished. So that means we already are finished with a qualification. Still have 15 more minutes. So I'm curious what's going to happen. Christopher Goosey is just driving around now a little bit. Doesn't go for a quickest time, but is just trying to complete... Maybe he goes for another pit exit or pit entry. Always good to test that out. Zubo is already talking. Joe Zubo currently on the 14th position. He is actually our race admin for the day, so he will get ready, make sure that everybody understands the rules, knows what league mentality means. That is very important for the Sunday Night Skippy in Formula 2 and Formula 1. Formula 2 was actually started one time when we didn't have enough room in, I think it was Suzuka or Zolder or any small track where we didn't have enough pit lanes, and we thought, well, let's try it out with a separate pack. And now we drive here in a complete league with 20 people and a very tight championship. Maybe it's good to have a quick look on that. I'm reading the chat right now, and I do see that Matthew Zepka is helping me out with it is a close qualification, but at least I had that part right. If we look at the complete standing over here, we do see that Nicholas Mazza is taking the first position. So that looks the same as right over here. Then we see RJ McKenzie who has out-qualified himself and is moved up to the Formula 1. We'll see him at 9 o'clock. Curious what he's going to do. It's his third race in Formula 1. Then we see Rusty Pontenberg, 133 points. He is basically the one that needs to contest with Nicholas Mazza. And behind there is Jake Ashe, Carter Stickney, Peter Lee, Kurt Smith, Melody Chance on 8th position. And then we see Daniel Pekowski, good, Crick Gerondelis, Craig Montgomery, Zach Snyder, Nate Strules, and then we see Joe Zubo. Joe Zubo is not only responsible for the administration, but also is giving me always the updates on these great overviews. So nice work from Joe. Now let's have a look. He's got to be finishing right now on this lap. He's the only one that's still running. It's the last time that we're starting early with a qualification, but he is also going in, and we still have 2 minutes. So I'm hoping that Joe Zubo is gonna speed up this process a little bit, and we can actually start the race, because that's what you want to see here in Knockhill. You want to see a race. It's an interesting track. Here we can see the complete track from above. And that first corner, you see it over there. It looks quite easy, but it's actually going straight down. So there's a lot of momentum going in, and I'm a little bit worried to see 20 skips going into there, and especially right after there, where you see corner 3 and corner 4, where it's all going to be very tight. People are going to break themselves. It's going to be chaos. But that's what we see in the skip races sometimes. And this is a track where you need to be careful. It's a track where blue flaggers are going to make an important part of this role. Yeah, what else can I say about this track? It's all about qualification, and qualification is something that Nicholas Mazza did really well. 55.5. Let's have a quick look on that and see, remember this time, and then have a look at when we drive with Formula 1. Because that could be in top 15 time in this Formula 1. But currently Nicholas Mazza, it's still in Formula 2, which is amazing me as well a little bit, I'll be honest. But I do see that there are some movement going on. So it could be possible that we're actually going to start here. Still no cars. I was hoping a little bit too happy. Oh, here we go. We do see some cars already lining up. So at least the setup is correct. Need to wait for a little more people. Let's get rid of those standings so that we have a full image over here. I'm not sure where everybody's waiting for. Maybe we have to discuss that one time over here, because people are already over there. I see Justin Divin, Christopher Guzzi, Melody Chance, and Tyler were the early ones who are already on the grid. And the rest is all waiting. I will have to say that if we can't see the end because we have to go to Formula 1, then that would be very pity. So let's hope they start very soon. All right, there are some other cars who are starting to pit a lineup. You see Craig Girondalis, Chas Weber. We see quickly Nicholas Matza, Craig Montgomery, Jake Ashe, Chris Girondalis, Chas Weber, Peter Lee, number 6. Always want to know what the story is about him. Tyler Antley, Carter Stickney on the 8th, Greg Sharp, Ian Worrell, number 10. Curious to see if he's coming into the booth. But I do hear the cars going on, so let's have a quick look if we can see what that start is. It takes Formula 2 always a little bit more time to actually start a race. They're all lined up. If you want to get a cup of coffee, now it's the chance to get it. Yes, Tim, it's already chaos and we haven't even started this race yet. And there goes the light. Finally, we are getting ready to go up here. Nicholas Matza on that first position. Craig Montgomery next to him. And I see Jake Ashe hasn't started. So Jake Ashe starts from the start. That's an interesting tactic. And here they go. Jake Ashe immediately also going out. Looks like everybody goes into that first corner. And I do hear already some noises, but everybody looks clean. How nice is that? Look at that. Nicholas Matza and Chris Girondalis takes that second position. Craig Montgomery on the third and Chas Weber is at the third one. And now we're going to a corner. I'm very terrified. There are going to be people pushing them up here. Are we going to see? We see everybody go through over here. Really well done. And here we go, on to the front. And we do see that Nicholas Matza is already taking a 1.2 lead from Chris Girondalis, who is getting really close with Greg Montgomery, Chas Weber, Peter Lee. And this is what you will see. They all will go very, very close to each other. Chris Girondalis takes a little bit of an extreme line over there, but can manage that jumps there. And that doesn't make you very fast, so... And we do see that was a problem for Chris Girondalis. Goes off track of there. Really nice how he comes back. But that does mean that a lot of people have passed him over here. Nicholas Matza is driving alone, but we see behind there Craig Montgomery and Chas Weber. Chas Weber is going on the inside. Is he going to make the move? Here is where the move can be made. And he does take that inside really nice. Craig Montgomery can't take that, and Peter Lee is also already moved up 2 spots. Oh, but I do see that Craig Montgomery is coming back. Yes, he's going to take that inside line. And then you have a better line over here. And he takes that corner really nice, but it is not going very easy. But they make it through. And then we see the second group coming in. We see Dan Pagowski here taking it too wide. And that does work, but very, very tight. And you see that Chris Girondalis has moved to the 14th position right now. He's right behind Joe Zubo, and I think that's Butler right over there. Joe Zubo is going to take it wide. Joe Zubo is going to take it wide, and is he going to make that move? Yes, he is making that move. Look at that, nice position. He moved up already 2 positions and is currently on the 12th position. And what about Richard Raboya? Richard Raboya takes over here. Look at that, goes into Dan Pagowski, and they're fighting over there. Ooh! That wasn't nearly a touch over there, but they could make it. Nice to see, but now Dan Pagowski needs to fight immediately with Carter Stickney. And it's going to be interesting, because Carter Stickney doesn't give up. And that means they're going too wide here in this corner. And that's... Ooh! Carter Stickney actually works well, but Kurt Smith is going too wide. Dan Pagowski makes it out nice and okay. So what happens with Jake Ashe? Jake Ashe, look at this. Here he goes on to the 5th position. Moving over to Tyler Antle. Tyler does a really good job on that 6th position. There's 1 position currently up. But he can't overtake Jake right now. Jake is really in a good mood. Don't know why he started in the pits. I'm really curious about that. But he's trying to gain a little bit more time on Peter Lee. And while I say that, Nicholas Matza is on a 55.4, already 4.1 seconds ahead. That guy is moving very, very fast. Thanks for Christopher Guzzi. I have bad news. Christopher Guzzi crashed right over here. He went into that last corner and then he takes it really hard on first. I think that's... Oh, and then he crashes over there. Yeah, and then that's going to be difficult. Hope that he can go to the pit and get some repair. Do see that Peter Lee here on the 3rd position is getting closer to Greg Montgomery. And this is really for that podium. Who's going to be on that podium? Jake Ashe is 1.8 seconds behind there, fighting with Tyler Antle and also with Ian Worrell. Ian Worrell has moved up quite a bit. And he's now with Tyler Antle and Jake Ashe. Interesting moves over here. A little bit further back we have the fight for position number 12, and Rich Butler is here hard to get that, and he's actually on position number 11. Taking them too wide over here before the corner, really nice, and they're really close to each other. Look at that, really. Oh, and we see Chris Girondellis also making a move on Joe Zubo, and that works out. Chris Girondellis is fast at that incident and is now fighting back, is now currently on that 14th position. But basically anybody's game here for position number 12 or 11. And Chris Girondellis is really pushing hard right now. See if he can get onto the gearbox of Melody Chance. The player numbers. I'm not sure what the player numbers means. Well, let's have a quick look. We're driving currently along here with Kurt Smith, but there is more going on. Nicholas Matza driving on that 1st position. 4.7 seconds. He is really a master. If he doesn't look out, he's gonna get out qualify himself and also be preparing for the Formula 1, because that's what all this league is about. And Nicholas Matza shows what kind of speed he has every week. And 4.9 seconds currently. And Peter Lee right behind there is getting really close to Greg Montgomery. I do see some moves over here with the group behind there. Richard Raboya is getting really close to Chaz Webber. And Chaz Webber is jumping that curve. I'm not sure if that's really the best way to do that, but currently it works for him. And Richard Raboya is setting himself up for to actually pass Chaz Webber. And right behind there we see Gardner and of course Dan Bukowski. Dan Bukowski is getting a little bit closer and needs to be closer if he wants to take over in that corner over there. And it doesn't look like he can make that, or, well, it doesn't. Carter makes it really easy for him. And he takes that for inside the corner. But it's not enough. Is it enough? Yes, it's enough. Look at that. Nice move from Dan Bukowski. And of course, I do want to mention Jake Ashe has entered the pit over here. And all these people are going to pass him right now, but Jake knows how to do these pit stop and also knows how to finish this. Is really quick out of this and now can drive his own little league. Needs to look out, because I see Justin Divin just coming in. Look at here, Justin Divin. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I do see that he has a new car, new livery. Always busy with that. While I say that, I do see that Rich Butler is going off track. He was in a fight with Kurt Smith, but is now also losing position on Melody Chance. Oh. Yeah, Knockhill, there is some action going on. Look at this. We see here for position number 11. Rich Butler getting troubles with Chris Girondellis. Chris is getting a little bit more comfortable, slowly moving over. And while I say that, I see Joe Zubel also getting into the pit. We are having 2 pit stops this race, so we're in lap 10, 9 minutes done. And already the first 2 are into the pit. Let's have a quick look. We see Nicholas Matza here on that, going into that first of the last corner, preparing for a nice exit. And then we see behind there Greg Montgomery and Peter Lee. It's not that much, 5.6 seconds. But it is growing. That's a little bit worrying. And we currently see also that Peter Lee is losing a little bit of traction on Greg Montgomery. Greg is really running away. And after that we see Tyler Antle. And Tyler Antle is getting, has to defend a little bit, has to look what Ian Worrell is doing. And currently he's doing that really well. Takes that corner really well. Nice exit. That's how you have to take the chicane over there. Completely onto the red of the track. Tyler looks very comfortable in his position currently, fourth position, and Ian Worrell is not quick enough to actually catch him. So that gives Tyler a lot of hope to actually see if he can maybe even get onto the podium, because it's not that far. It's not that far, and then we see already that Peter Lee is there. Peter Lee, Greg Montgomery right behind there, so there's definitely something up there for that podium. And here for position number 11 or 10, Rich Butler is currently driving, and Melody Chance is right behind there. And there is Chris Girondellis. Every lap he takes 1 position. So in that calculation, we'll see him in the end of the race on number 1. Currently he needs to have a look how Melody Chance is driving. Melody moves herself up into the championship. Oh, we do have a problem with the overlays. Let's have a quick look if I can fix that. We have that sometimes. Well, you guys watch for race for position 11 or number 12. We see. We'll see if I can actually get them up. I don't see the timing coming up. I'm not sure exactly what happens. And look at that. Here they come again, and hope that everybody can see the results again. It's back, the overlays are back, yeah, but when you're on your own it's a little bit more trickier to control everything, but glad that you guys could help out. We do see currently, let's have a quick look at the race results. I see that Ian Worrell is fighting over here. Ian Worrell is fighting with... Is that Chas Webber? That's Chas Webber on the front. So that's going to be an interesting one, because we do see that Tyler Antle is actually getting really close to Peter Lee. So while I thought that Greg Montgomery need to look out, we actually see now that Tyler Antle is getting really close. Can he make a move over here on that 4th position? And he is getting a run, but the run, is that not enough? It can't be enough, no. He needs to stay behind, but maybe he can set it up right now. Alright, so we're all back together, all overlays are working again, and we're looking still here at Tyler Antle, who's getting a little bit closer to Peter Lee, but still not close enough. Looks like they can't really make that move, so let's have a quick look here in the back, because we do see some more pit stoppers. Maybe I can put the pit stops up so that we can see who actually has done a pit stop. And here we see that Craig Montgomery didn't go pits, and I do see that Nicholas Matza is into the pit with a lot of people. Look at that. We have a lot of people in there. We have Peter Lee, Tyler Antle, Ian Worrell, Greg Sharp. Basically everybody's in the pits except Greg Montgomery currently, and Chas Weber. They're running away together with Kurt Smith a little bit behind there. And then we see already Nicholas Matza straight behind there. So he's the first one who actually has done a pit stop, and that's why he can actually see what's going on right now. I'm curious what he's doing with Kurt Smith. Is he pushing Kurt Smith now into that pit stop? It is it is for position, so he doesn't have to give up, and Kurt can defend over here. While I say that, I do want to make sure that we see that Craig Montgomery is going to the pit, and Chas Weber. So I'm curious how this much... Oh, nice way from Kurt Smith. Gives a little bit up, and that means that Nicholas Matza doesn't have that much troubles, but we do see that Craig Montgomery is still in the pit. I was hoping that it could maybe something done, but we do see that Nicholas Matza has already passed the pit lane, so that means that here Jake Ashe is even getting a position, because he's getting out, and then Peter Lee is overtaking Greg Montgomery in the pit, so that means that Peter is getting that third position. Wow. All right. So that means we do see some changes over here. And when I say that, I want to say that Ian Worrell is making a move here on Tyler Antle. He's looked at it the whole time, and he's now actually making that move. And immediately Chas Weber also looks at the inside of Tyler Antle. This is the place where you need to attack. And it's really hard to defend, and I don't think Tyler will do that. We see a lot of smoke going on, but that's normal in these skips. And look at that, Tyler Antle. Is he coming back to Chas Weber? Yes, he is going to try that. Definitely, he's not done yet. And look at that. Takes that line really nicely done from him. And Chas Weber can't do much about that, and now needs to set up himself. But up here, it's so difficult to actually overtake. It's too difficult. We see in the back some movement going on with Melody Chance, and who has a new car? Greg Sharp has a new paint. It looks sharp to me, but Greg is currently losing a position and needs to look out that Kurt Smith is not attacking him over there. And this is all for position number 11. Is Melody gonna hold that? She's defending on that inside line. Make sure I'm going to take that inside line, and Sharp can't do much about that. And then needs to focus on that exit, and does that really well. But I have to say, Melody is really in her element over here. And she can hold that line really nice. There's no problem for her. So how's Peter Lee doing? Peter, my favorite commentator. This morning had a great race at BRL where Peter was one of our commentating. Spent a lot of time on that really nice livery from Improper Racing. And he's currently on that third spot. We'll do a lot of good things for the championship. But then he needs to stay ahead of Ian Worrell. We do see that Nicholas Matza again got a fastest time. 55.0 currently. He is really getting quick. And how is the battle over there for position number 4? Tyler Antle is defending, but you can't defend that one. They're going too wide over there, and they make this work. They still are too wide. Oh, this is so hard to be on that outside, but Tyler is a... I don't want to say a professional driver, but he has a lot of experience. And oh, Chas Weber nearly punted him, but I don't think there's any damage going on. Or I do see a little damage on Tyler Antol's wing. Look at that. We look from the back, we can clearly see that his wing is a little bit broken. That's gonna cost him. But not enough. Look at that. He is still defending, and Chas Weber is not allowed to pass him over there. And I don't think he even can pass him. All right, how's the fight on the back over there? We see Dan Pagowski with Carter Stickney. Carter Stickney is too far away, and right behind there we see Rich Butler with Joe Zubo. And that for position number 9. So we have a lot of little couples driving around. Joe Zubo always recognized in that wild driver's car. Is he gonna get any closer over here? If he wants to attack, this is the best position. You see, Rich Butler is already not going completely to the wide. He's making sure that he gives the signal off. No way. And ladies and gentlemen, we do see one more surprise up here. It's not just Nicholas Matza on that first position. It's not Jake over there, but we also see Chris Smorl. Do I see that correctly? Do I see Chris Smorl knocking on my door?
It is a pleasure to be here, Pim. I had a few minutes here, and I just wanted to jump in because this race looks so awesome and so intense. I was following along on YouTube, and I couldn't help myself. I needed to jump in.
All right, I do want to apologize with your wife for this, but I'm really happy that you're here. So I can finally get some drink, and we'll have a look on it. I see that Chas Weber went in.
Yeah, let me talk for a little bit here so you can take just a little bit of a break. By the way, for anybody watching, as somebody who's been there, doing this by yourself, virtually impossible. So thank you very much, Pim, for sucking it up and doing the whole thing by yourself. Much tougher than it looks, but you pulled it off with flying colors. We're looking right now at a couple battles throughout the field here. Nicholas Mazza is leading currently over Jake Ashe by 10 seconds. But if you look throughout the field, on the timing tower there, you can see that we've got some great battles going here. And I know that the Antle family is tuned in here based on the YouTube comments, so I want to point out that both Tyler and Ian Whirl, fellow commentator, locked in a great battle here for P3 on top of that. So Ian up 7 spots, and so we've got another. Oh shoot! I don't know how to do this. Here we go.
Well, don't worry. Well, let's have a quick look.
We've got it.
All right, we're still driving along with Tyler Antle.
There we go. Tyler Antle's locking up the battle. But you know who's even closer right now? Chas Weber, Kurt Smith. These two. I mean, look at this. By the way, what a great track. Holy cow. This track is producing some amazing battles. And the Buffalo Bills just scored, by the way. And they're going to pull within a couple points there of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chas Weber, look at Chas Weber and Kurt Smith.
Yeah, look at this on the outside.
Chas Weber is going on that inside right now. If he prepares it well, he is on that inside over there, and that's where you need to be. But Kurt Smith can take a lot of more momentum in there. He doesn't do that, but he immediately goes out, and that's what I mean. It's not done yet over here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Kurt Smith's just overtaking, and then he even goes to the outside. Daring over there, not defending, but immediately takes the best line over there. Oh, moves that car really, really good. And I do have to say the amount of incidents, it's amazing. I don't know how much they practice, but it looks really good from here. Didn't see much going on at all.
All right, I think I got the background noise muted there. I think we should be all right. But
yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. Apologies for that. Hey, by the way, we've got a lot of battles going here. Again, an embarrassment of riches. Kurt Smith and Taz Weber, clearly the hot battle on the course right now. But I want to give proper props to here Greg Sharp, Jake Ashe. And,
let's do that after that Kurt Smith is completing it, because he now goes from the outside. Look at that, he takes that outside line. Oh,
no.
Wow. Okay, then you know the limits of your car. Look at that.
Yeah, we're just gonna let's just stick with this for a second. Holy cow,
man, they make it really, really nice.
Unbelievable.
Kurt Smith, relatively new in this league, but wow.
Yeah, I don't even know why I tried to bring our attention off this race, because this battle is epic.
Yeah, I do have to say, I'm quite curious what Tyler is doing on the moment. So if he doesn't make a move right here, and he doesn't look like he can make that, then I'm going back to Tyler, because Tyler is also getting really close to Ian Worrell. They're a little bit further going into the chicanes right now, and jumping over there, and that means that Tyler needs to get a little bit closer. If he can get a little bit better exit over here and get a little bit more momentum, then that's where he needs to be. And it looks like he's getting really close. Is he going to make a move?
His splits are much better than Ian's at the moment. And so one would expect that. He's just got to find the right and proper moment to make the pass. By the way, fantastic paint scheme by Tyler.
Oh, and look at this. They're both going in. They're both going in here.
Yep.
So that's interesting to see. I'm curious to see who actually goes out quicker.
I'm actually shocked by that. I would have thought that, battling with somebody so closely, you would maybe try to stretch it one more lap. But then again, I don't know what the...
Well, at least you would do something different. But we do see that Ian Worrell is out very quickly. And oh, Tyler, come on. In a little bit, and he gets over there. He can't pass him, but he can definitely get back into track. But we do see that Chaz Weber is coming over there, and Kurt Smith. So this is going to be an interesting group over there. Tyler needs to go out very, very quickly. He's currently driving on that 7th position. That's all just due to those pit stops. He has a really good chance.
And by the way, I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage here because starting the race up late here, I have no idea, literally no idea what all this pit strategy is, because my tracking software.
Don't worry, it's always the same. Jake Ashe goes in at lap 5. Then it's Joe Subo. He tries to copy him, and then the rest goes on normal. So I think currently, let's have a quick look at the pit stops. We say Jake Ashe made 3 pit stops, but that's just this one pit stop that was actually starting from the pits. So he is up on that 3rd position. Not even that bad for starting from the pits. While I say that, I see Carter Stickney coming out of the pit. So we do have to see Nicholas Matza and Peter Lee still needs to go in. Peter Lee,
so they still need to go in. Okay.
Yeah, they need to go in.
They got a 20-second lead over Jake Ashe there in 3rd place.
Yeah, and we do see, while we say that, Peter Lee... Oh, Peter Lee!
No!
That is Peter Lee. I think he was fooling himself because there was no one around him. But he fooled me, so it did work.
He's watching too much Bonfire Racing League. I think that's
yeah.
But look at Chaz Weber, Tyler Entel.
Oh,
my goodness!
These guys just need to get a room, man. They're so close to each other.
Oh, that is crazy. Well, and by the way, we got some separation there finally.
Well, no separation between Chaz Weber and Tyler Entel. Tyler Entel is going off track. Tyler Entel going off track, but he can hold this. Whoa, man. Your family is watching. Pay attention.
I love it. Now, he'll be back there before too long.
Yeah,
I
because
love
he
this
has
battle,
he
though.
has the
He's-
speed, and he now needs to come back to Chaz Webber. And when I say that, I do see that Peter Lee finally found the moment to actually go into
Okay.
the pit.
Yeah, he's not faking.
He's not faking it anymore, and he is coming out over here. Curious to see who and where he's going to get. Currently, he's still in that second position, but I do see that Jake Ashe is moving the move, make the move. No. Oh, this is going to be the nice battle for that second position. Nicholas Matza is far, far away, but Peter Lee, wow, he's getting really tough time with Jake Ashe, but
We've also got Carter Stickney and Rich Butler going side by side, and for P8 there.
oh yeah, because we have
crossing
nothing
start
else to
finish
do.
line.
Look at that. Carter Stickney,
Unbelievable.
but then right behind that 101 from Justin Devon, he's also right in between there. And that's what you have over here, a lot of blue flags. And that's a problem, but it's also very exciting because you're getting a lot of exciting races.
Well, yeah, let's bring our attention back there to the battle for P2. Peter Lee coming out just in front of Jake Ashe. And both of these drivers hungry for that podium spot. And maybe one spot more. So Peter's got to be very, very concerned that he's got a driver of the caliber of Jake Ashe in his rearview mirror.
Yes, but also Peter is going to be very excited that he's on that podium. He knows this track very well. I've driven with him in the PRL League, the Ferrari over here, and it didn't go well. He had a lot of problems over here and made a couple of spins and had to recover quite a lot, but was actually really fast. So that speed he takes up here within this skip, and I think he's kind of happy that he's with Jake, and now trying to see if they can run away with from Chaz Webber. They still have 5 minutes, so you can't fight too early because then Ian Worrell is actually coming back.
There you go.
So how
Yeah,
is Carter Stickney doing?
Did Nick Mazza hit yet?
Yeah, that's the worst part.
Holy cow!
I can get for you the music of certifications up, but Nicholas Matza is currently really running the show up here.
Well, you know, we never want to graduate somebody to SF1 just based on one race alone, but a 15-second lead.
Oh no, it's not the first race. But you know what the cool thing is, Chris, on this? We are just CAV-OK Racing Network. We have no influence in this. But that guy is quick. That guy is really quick. I was just saying, I think with Mackenzie, he can definitely be a top 15 driver in Formula One if he drives like this. And while I say that, we do see our old timers over here, Jake Ashe and Peter Lee, and I don't say that in time-wise, but they've been here from the first when we started with Formula 2. They're still here, and Peter Lee actually won that first championship, so he knows what it is to be a winner. Currently, he can't be a winner, but second position, I'll take it.
Absolutely, and once again, just some great battling throughout the field, and 21 drivers on this grid. So great to see. I mean, this is literally giving SF1 a run for their money. And
oh no,
this
definitely.
is just so exciting to watch. Yeah. So you know, Rich Butler, Carter Stickney. By the way, this is another great battle that we're looking at for P8. Rich Butler up 4 spots, Carter Stickney up 2 spots, and these guys giving no quarter whatsoever to the competitors. This is, you know, I've always been a sucker for Rich Butler's paint scheme.
Oh,
and,
you're biased.
oh no, I'm sorry. So that's so great to see. And then, you know, now, like, let's focus back here on Ian Worrell and Chaz Webber. Chaz Webber tracking down Ian Worrell. And I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to make the pass here, because we got 1:45 seconds left in the race.
And don't forget Tyler Antle, because he's also getting he was getting a little bit closer. Currently still on that 6th position, but he's getting a really rude exit over there. Look at that. He's far away.
Yeah,
So,
but we've got maybe
2 more
a lap
laps.
or 2 left here. So
Yeah.
it's not over yet, but so focus in on all these
Well,
big battles
one
that we got
interesting
going on here.
theory that I have, Nicholas Matza is going to drive so fast that we're going to get an extra lap. And is everybody prepared for that?
That's right.
Is everybody prepared for? Oh, look at that, Pete. Oh, Jake is making it very exciting, going sideways over there, and can still hold that car.
He's pushing that car to the absolute limits. What a great display. Well, we got Nicholas Mazda crossing the start-finish line. It does look like Barney is waving the white flag, though.
Yeah, he's definitely waving the white flag.
Unfortunately for us, but this will be the final lap for all of the drivers, and we've got quite a few battles going on here. Jake Ashe and Peter Lee. You've got Ian Worrell, Chaz Weber, Rich Butler, Carter Stickney, Greg Sharp, Joe Zubo, and then all the way back in P16 there, Justin Diven and Zach Snyder are giving us a good show as well. So this is,
I do. I'm going to choose right now for Jake Ashe and Peter Lee because they're so close. But then I can't do that because Ian Worrell and Chaz Weber are also getting into that fight.
Also super close.
Ian Worrell was nearly losing it, but Chaz Weber couldn't benefit from that.
Peter Lee's gone way off. But Jake
Ashe is following right along. Look at that. They're both doing that. And while I say that, I do want to say that Nicholas Matza has made it. But that's not a real thing, a news for us. It is really going now from Peter Lee and Jake Ashe trying to run over there. We see that Peter Lee is going to make that right in front of Jake Ashe. That's going to be an interesting story that we're going to have. And whoa, Ian Wall and Chaz Weber. Tyler Antley right behind there.
Oh my goodness.
Where's the next battle going on? Look at this. Whoa, this was a nice race. I'm really happy, Chris, that you helped me out over here because...
Oh, no. I feel
mad.
like I was a disturbance there, man. You were in the rhythm, but it was just too good to pass up. So, by the way, this act of sportsmanship here that we do in SF2, I think unmatched in a lot of league races. Just doing the formation lap after some great battling. It's just showing respect to the other drivers and mutual appreciation for each other. You're not going to find that anywhere else. So hats off to all these drivers for putting on a hell of a show.
Definitely. And we're not done yet. This is only the beginning. Because now we're going to actually have a look at our Formula 1, where we see, of course, the rivalry between Leo and Jeffrey Decker. Or maybe someone else is going to join there. Is Carl Dronke going to be there? Because he is quite fast on this track. I'm really curious. If you want to see it, wait 10 minutes and we're going to be right back here for our Formula 1 race.
Just whisper.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back at the Formula One Skippy race, and I'm not alone up here tonight. Chris has left the booth, but has a good replacements over here. Peter Lee, welcome. And how was your race?
Oh man, I am drenched in sweat. This is such a technical track, but it was tons of fun, and I kept it clean and got rewarded with the podium finish, P2.
Yeah, I know. I was very excited for you as well. And you were not the only one who really had a good run. Ian Worrell, welcome to the booth. And how was your race?
Oh, yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it. I had some fantastic battles. I think there was one point where I went round 2 or 3 wide, round turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3. I mean, it's a fun track to drive, but oh my goodness me, you cannot stop concentrating and working on this track for a moment. There's 2 places where you get a little break, and the rest of the time you are just full on, flat out. There's one turn coming after you after another. Oh, brilliant track, but
I'm telling you, Ian, I'm gonna need some like colorizer or some suntan on my knuckles. I think they're permanently white right now.
Oh my gosh, it's insane. So yeah, and look at these guys. I mean, we've been watching these guys spinning all over the place in the SF1 group.
Well, we do see some spinning, but Leo Akhtarov currently is not spinning because he's at 55.7, and then we have a new name. Let's mispronounce that one. Already apologize for it, but I think it's going to be Sam Devontier. What do you guys think?
Devontier.
I do have to say it sounds very Dutch, but then I would say Sam Devontier. Maybe it's that way, but I know that he's from Australia, and I know that he's really quick. Not as quick as Leo momentarily, but he's right between Leo and Jeffrey, so maybe that marriage becomes a threesome over there. I'm really curious to see how that race is going to be over. We see Jeff Snavely on the 4th position. Michael Hounik is back from a while, I actually have to say. 5th position. Mike Bowers, really great. And then Chris Herrera. Chris Herrera is back. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be more than a menage a trois. It's gonna
Then look at SF2 graduate into SF1, RJ McKenzie, right now provisionally in the top 10 for qualifying.
All right, bingo. This is what I mean. This is what I was talking about, people. When you do get your certificate from Formula 2, that means something. Well, that means here a 9th position. Yeah, that's why RJ McKenzie is on the right spot over here in Formula 1.
Can I say that these top 3 qualifiers, Leo Akhtarov, Sam Devontier, and Jeffrey Decker, having qualified on cold tires in the 54-second range?
I don't know how they do that. I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, I always feel like that should be illegal somehow.
I think our fastest laps were in the 54, 55s.
Yes.
You know, and they're doing it on cold tires in that speed. Come on, man.
Yeah, well, but I do have to say, Nicholas Mazza was driving a 55.4, and then you could come into the top 15. Gurkan de Meer, who his home is not here in Scotland, that's in Austria, but he's on that 15th position. So, you know, Nicholas Mazza, he would fit in right over there.
Yeah, you would. You know, this track, for those that don't know, we're in virtual Scotland. It's a short track, so only 1.25 miles long. So these guys are lapping in about 55 seconds. And it is, as Ian mentioned, incredibly narrow, incredibly technical, has ups and downs, has big curbs that you can jump. It's quite the challenge.
It really is. I mean, you know, it might only be 1.4 miles long, but it's got about 3,000 turns in it. At least it feels that way.
We do see that Scott Bell, currently 20th position, and we do expect a lot more from him, is still running his, I think, 3rd lap, and he's actually a little bit faster. Curious to see if he can actually make that back into the top 10. And that's really that curb over there. You really have to jump it in the chicane or not.
Oh, it's something you just need to straight line, and you don't see the curve. You don't see the apex, and yet you have to commit to full throttle, as sight unseen, and just be ready to correct any oversteer that comes. Looking at the qualifying times, I'm noticing the top 19 qualifiers are covered by less than 1 second in their lap times.
So is Scott Bell gonna be any faster? 20th position right now, and he is not faster. That's a big surprise for me. Scott Bell, 20th position. He is still driving. Not sure if he still has one more lap, but he needs to be fast because we only have 45 seconds to go. It's going to be very, very tight for him. He is again faster in that first section, but now he needs to hold it on. It looks like that exit is a little bit better. And he's also quicker in the second part. Is he coming back? Looks like it. Look at that. Just jumping that corner over there. This looks like a lot of a faster time than he has standing.
Well, he's using every inch of that track.
And here he comes onto the last straight, hoping to improve his time. And we don't see him improve his time, surprisingly. Maybe there was an off track in that one, but that looked like a lot faster track. So, guys, let's have a quick look before they already start to warm up. On that first position, of course, who wouldn't expect him over there? Leo Oktarov from the Shake and Bake group on the 54.7. And then we have Sam Devontier on the second position, 1/10 up there. Really, really close, but not close enough. And then we see Michael Haunick, Jeffrey Decker, 4th position, Jeff Snavely, Mike Bowers, Chris Herrera, 7th position. Great to see him back. Always makes exciting overtakes, so I'm really curious how he does here on Knockhill. And then we see Max Di Giacomo, 8th position, and then RJ McKenzie, the proud of Formula 2, right there on 9th position. Go RJ McKenzie. Philippe Jeté, 10th position. Sammy Bridges, one of my favorite drivers, always drives in the pizza car. I've heard a rumor that he's going to update it, so let's have a look at him when we see him drive. And then we have Carl Dronke on the 12th position. A little bit further than I expected. Ian, who's next?
We got Steve Dewar taking up number 13 with JR Hoops. Gherkin Demir is going to be next to Noah, Joseph Noah. And then we've got Benjamin Harris, Andrew Cole, Jeff Torbach, Scott Bell in the 20 position, Aaron Law, Brian Perez, Chris Stewart, Mark Rayner, and Joshua Dancy in 25th.
I'm just noticing that some of the names that we're seeing more in the back of the field, which is unusual. People like Carl Dronke, Steve Dewar, JR Hoops, Chris Stewart, they have just completed the virtual Daytona 24. And did a great job, but I'm sure they are sleep starved, and some of the others in the field might be also. And in fact, we have 25 racers, which is a healthy field, but that is slightly smaller. So I think we are missing a few drivers just because of the Daytona 24 having just been completed.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you watched Peter at 24, but Chris Stewart was on his Twitch channel, and Adam Wright, and oh man, they had an exciting start, I have to say.
Oh, it was fantastic, and of course Adam Wright is someone who is sitting out tonight's race. I think most likely because of his participation in the Daytona 24.
And this is a pretty track. I will say that all of our audience that are actually at the track in their virtual thing are sadly underdressed for weather in Scotland, because on a day like today it's probably still only about minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit.
But the hardy people, they're used to it, Ian, aren't they?
I do want to mention before I do see already a couple of people line up. We have the standings. Jeffrey Decker is currently in the lead with 193 points, and right behind there is Leo Oktarov. Carl Dronke is doing really well, still on that podium, and after that Michael Haunick, Scott Bell, Gherkin Demir, Chris Stewart, Mike Bauer, Sammy Bridges, and Aaron Lau on that 10th position. So a lot of drivers who still have a chance on here.
Yeah, it's important. This is the first race of the second half of the season, I believe. Or is this maybe the last race of the first half? We're basically at the midway point of the season, and so it becomes more important to get good results now.
So this is going to be a fun race, and I think that again, because it's such a short track, there's going to be a ton of overtaking as the lights go on. And we're away. Coming down into T1, which is an off-camber downhill blind corner. Leo's in first. We've got our first double wide trying to get through there. As cars decide to be sensible.
Yeah, look at that. We do see that Leo is taking a little bit away, goes together with Sam. And right behind there, everybody is already on the line, going through the chicane over there. Looks that everything goes really good over here. Impressive driving of this many cars.
They're streaming through all these corners. But it's such a short, it just kills me, it's such a short circuit. They're already coming up to the final turn as Leo goes through the final turn. The car's streaming through behind him.
Yeah, and Jeff Snavely is going a little bit on the outside, and Jeffrey Decker is making a nice run over there. He's getting really close to Michael Hounik on that third position.
There's a little bit of a gap to JR Hoops in P15. I noticed on the first lap in turn 3 there was a little bit of nose-to-tail contact with Benjamin Harris. Neither car looks damaged at all, but it did cause both cars to check up. So they'll be trying to catch their way back up to P14 in Gherkin-Denir.
Max de Guacamo is hanging on tightly to the back of Mike Bowers and that whole front crew. They're all sort of staying together.
We have an incident. We have Benjamin Harris having gone off track out of the chicane. Does not look like he is damaged, but he's had to let the entire field go by.
Look at this. Gherkin-Denir overtook Chris Stewart right there in that corner. That last corner where it is really a big chance to actually make a move. And we see Chris Herrera going here too wide with RJ McKenzie. RJ McKenzie is hard defending, but that is going to be really difficult. And as I said before, Chris Herrera is not afraid to take you too wide. And he's doing that really nice over here, but RJ McKenzie is not done yet.
And our new guy, Sam Daventier, I have to ask him how he says his name, is right up behind Leo and pushing Leo hard. Leo is driving a little bit in his mirrors, it would seem, because Michael Hounik's caught up, and Jeffrey Decker is trying to climb up to the back of Michael Hounik to close that little gap down. Under braking, they all concertina down. Turn 1 is such a difficult corner. Peter, I don't know how you found it, but I was getting so much wheel spin coming out of there.
Oh, turn 1 and the last turn, this hairpin turn 9 also. It's just the car is so light. One or two of the corners of the car are pretty much off the ground, and indeed, just a lot of wheel spin.
Yeah, and I see that Decker, Michael Hounik already sets fastest lap of 54.75.
Yeah, and guys, we do see that RJ McKenzie actually overtook Chris Herrera back and is now on that 8th position. Look at that. He's not afraid of making that move and is really confident in driving over here. Chris Herrera is really trailing him.
Yeah, and then Carl Dronke and Philippe Jeté are just right behind. And it looks like Carl is going to try to make a move going into this last hairpin on Philippe Jeté.
And Chris Herrera is just overtaken RJ McKenzie again.
Yeah, 2x2 overtakes going into that hairpin.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing on the backside here.
Yeah, and right behind there we see that is... Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say RJ is not having it, and he's now side by side into turn 1. Just passes the front end of Chris's car. And Chris taps him in the back and knocks him off the track.
Dronke is also out.
Dronke follows him. Oh, what a disaster. Well, they both seem... Oh, Carl's towing. And it looks to me like Mackenzie's trying to get himself back on track. But it's so hard. You've got to be so careful getting back on track that you don't spoil anybody else's race.
That will be one for the stewards. Just further back, I've seen now Sammy Bridges just having overtaken Gherkin Demir for the 10th position. But Gherkin is now pressuring Sammy back coming into the turn 9 hairpin.
And Decker, Houwenik, Javentier, and Charov are all closing up on each other. As Snavely's now there with them as well. He's just a little bit further back, but catching them quickly. And that whole front pack is pushing, and Bowers is trying to catch up with them, and Matt with pulling Max de Guacamo along with him.
You know, that incident that we saw involving RJ McKenzie, Chris Herrera, Carl Dronke, and Phil Jeté, that turn 2, turn 3 complex is just full of that type of nose-to-tail contact. People take different lines, they have different braking points. In a pub race, I myself was punted there, as were several others. And it's just a matter of luck on whether you can keep it on track and keep your car undamaged.
Yeah, on the moment we're paying attention on Jeffrey Decker, who's getting really close, or trying to get close, but Jeff Snavely is getting actually a little bit closer. What do you guys think, Jeffrey Decker? How does he feel now, suddenly with a lot more people between him and Leo Oktarov? He is still the champions leader, but...
A little bit of a different view for him as he sets fastest lap yet again in a 54.71. And I do you really think they're going to hit 53s on this race?
Well, they are pushing them a lot, so I can imagine that they do that. And while they're all going off track over there, we do see that Sam is having a great run. Look at that, he is getting really, really close. If you want to do an overtake, then this should be the place. But I think this is going to be a little bit more tactical, because they actually can run away from Mike Bowers, who is on that 6th position right over there. And then we see Max de Giacomo on the 7th, is also getting quite close to Mike Bowers on the moment.
Oh, back in P12, JR Hoops has just dived inside of Steve Dewar to take P12, and Joseph Noah has followed right there. But all three are now side by side in the front straight, and Jeff Torbeck is just drafting right behind that trio.
Yeah, look at that, and they're still not done yet. JR Hoops can't defend that. And Joseph Noah takes that really nicely.
This is a who's going to back out first corner.
Yeah, and then a little bit further in the back, we do see that also Scott Bell is getting really close to Aaron Law.
Oh, and Scott does lose some time by going into the gravel. I know that gravel so well, and you don't. It's not a dangerous place to go. You can keep the car straight, but it does cost you about half a second.
Yeah, lose a bit of time. As we're down into the 54.533 set by Houwenik. As we again come down into turn 1, Leo, followed by Sam, followed by Michael, Houwenik, Jeffrey Decker, Jeff Snavely, Mike Bowers, Max de Guacamo, Chris Herrera, Philip Jeté, and Sammy Bridges make up your top 10. You know,
there's a battle. Go ahead, Ian.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, there's a battle for P18 that is shaping up as well. Mark Rayner is right now in P18, but Brian Perez has completely closed up the gap, and particularly in the first half of the track, really seems to have a pace advantage on Mark. It's so hard, though, Ian, isn't it, to find a place to pass on this track?
Oh my God, it's insane, and to do it without doing it as a dive bomb. As we see Max de Guacamo all over the back of Mike Bowers right now as they just cross the start-finish line and head down into T1. He's getting a nice little tow. Maybe he'll look to do something in the next lap or two as they launch their cars off the top of T1, dive down into T2, braking, then back on the gas, second, third, fourth, up into the chicane. It's a bit of a blind crest, hit the bump, hit the other bump, try to keep the car on the track. As they both do. Next turn, gear down to third, gas, up over the crest, try to keep it again on track. Everybody seems to be running a little bit wide onto that gravel right there. And then onto the back straight, which is one of the longest sort of straights as Max climbs over, climbs, gets closer. And then the concertina effect from the braking. And now can you get a good launch out of here? And they're so much closer this time.
All right, let's have a quick look at Leo Oktarov and Sam, because that front runner group, how far are they now away? 2.7 seconds from Mike Bowers. That's already a little bit of a distance.
It's a bit, but yeah. So the gap between Mike Bowers and that front five is quite significant. And that front five is really holding together well. They could. Oh, nicely done.
You know, listening to your track description, Ian, reminds me just how bumpy this racetrack is, and you know, you really get launched over some of these curbs. And it makes me wonder, in the case of Scott Bell, since we had on the league Discord a lot of chatter about motion rig systems, and Scott famously has a motion rig. You wonder, you know, does that actually help or hurt you in a track like this?
So I was having a chat with James and a couple of other guys who
Bell
have.
is going to have a look, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking. I'm watching a race over here, a nice conversation, but and there's so much action going on. Let's have a quick look if we can see some overtakes. That first group is quite relatively taking it easy, but everywhere else it's big fighting over here.
I think they would really take exception to the fact that you're saying they're taking it easy, but okay, we'll go with that.
Well, you know, it is true that back in P17, Scott Bell, who we were talking about, is just inching closer and closer to Aaron Law, and he is looking faster than Aaron Law to me right now, but is just not able to find a place to
He's
pass.
got a really nice line through the chicane, and he's coming through there a little bit faster than Aaron, and so you'll see him climbing up. And now watch this, because he's going to be hitting that concertina point. He needs to take a bit more of an inside line, because he could. Well, again, it's the whole dive bomb thing, right? Is it a dive bomb? Is it an overlay? And Aaron Last messes up that corner. Scott Bell beautifully takes it on the inside and passes him. What a lovely, lovely move that was.
Yes.
Wow, this is like the opposite of a curse. This was a really, really, really good one. Scott Bell will thank you for this, because that was a nice position. Currently on the 16th position, and now can look up for Steve Durr and Jeff Thorbeck, who's driving in front of him with JR Hoops. And I think that's Joseph Noah, who is leading this group.
Oh, and Scott loses it on the corner, and Aaron's coming back at him on the inside. Scott gets still back on the track, coming into the corner. He's out-braked by Aaron. Aaron takes his position back on the uphill. All that hard work, all undone. And he has to redo it himself. But he's done it once. He do it again.
Just to satisfy Pim's desire, we come back up front. This back up 5. Boy, I mean, there is no pace difference that I can see with any of these top 5 drivers right now, and they are just stuck to each other. This might just come down to who manages their pit stop better.
Yeah, and I mean, again, that's great. We got 1 or 2 pit stops today. 1, I think, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not so much. Well, is it a strategy? I mean, do you wait until you're almost out of gas, go in and fill up?
Well, I think because this is a 45-minute race with the fuel restriction, the pit fueling window is only 1 or 2. Well, it might be 2 or 3 laps.
No, it's short. Yeah, but there are 2 pit stops, and if you go now and the rest is not going, are you not losing a lot? Except Leo.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, I think Leo can run this. He can show this, but
I mean, everybody behind Leo should be saving gas right now, right? They can be lift and coast into these corners, getting dragged along by everybody in front of them. Most of this is corners. You haven't got a lot of straights on here, so there's not a lot of drafting going on. But if you can lift and coast, you can save some fuel. When you do get on the straights, you're running at 2/3 of a throttle.
Yeah.
And able to keep up with them. Smart driving is really where it's at right now. And it's going to be very interesting. Sam is in 2nd place. This is his first league race. I know that he runs top split in the pubs, but I don't know if he's had experience having to refuel in a race environment before, in this kind of race environment. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does.
Yeah,
No,
the pit lane
definitely.
here isn't that long, but it is tricky, and so you have to know what you're doing for sure.
And it's
No, and
easy
Ian,
to pick up a black flag.
And Ian, to come back to your point, everybody can drive a top split, but can everybody drive a Formula 1 Skippy League? That's a different thing. Currently, Sam is proving that he's has the right pace over here, because he's on that 2nd position and not pushing too much, following Leo closely.
It is looking to me like Sam is running a very smart race here. He's being patient. In fact, all 5 of these drivers, 4 of these drivers behind Leo are looking
Of
pretty
course,
patient
Leo
and
is
smart.
sitting there with a big grin on his face going, That's a point. That's a point. That's a point. That's how many points is he going to get for laps led in this race? It's such a short track. There's tons of laps.
Guys, and let's have a quick look at number 14th position. Steve Durr is getting really close. Aaron La right behind there, and Scott Bell is basically jumping that. Always have to think every time he jumps that his whole rig is going up and down, but probably Sarah will hear it. And we see that Aaron La's overtaking here Steve Durr, or at least he's trying, going to that inside. Ooh, getting really nicely done, and this means that they are gonna go too wide.
Yeah, I think Steve had to back out of it a little bit there to let Aaron in, and I wonder how much of that was a bit of frustration on Aaron's part for going in there. But going into the Steve backed out of it just a wee bit, and Scott is coming down behind Steve at a rate of knots as goes wide, as Jeff Torback goes wide, and everybody catches up to him. So
yeah, this is a complete big track now. It's number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think even 18 is right over there. Look at that. Chris Stewart is driving right on the back over there. And in front of him is Mark Rayner,
who was nearly into the back of Scott Bell in the last corner.
I have no idea how Chris Stewart can still drive. I've seen him stream for 24 hours. And now right back up here, 18th position, and we do see that Scott Bell's going in. Yeah.
All right, let's keep an eye on Scott, see how he does.
Looking back at P20, Brian Perez and Benjamin Harris are continuing to battle with Joseph Noah right behind, but they are side by side down the front straight right now, Brian Perez and Benjamin Harris.
And Mike Bowers and Max Guacamo are having their own little battle. The two of them are there together. They need to work together to try and catch up with that front pack. That's what they need to do. But it looks to me like they're having their own little discussion. And then Chris Herrera is back behind there, running a lonely race with Philip Jett.
We do see that Leo Octarov, Michael Hounik, and Jeff Snavely went in, and Jeffrey Decker and Sam are running. So that's going to be different pit stop strategies over here. Really curious what to see. And oh, Sam is making a mistake over there. Takes that corner way too much. And immediately Jeffrey Decker is on his back. Look at that. Sam is driving on the first position for the first time. And immediately that pressure is getting to him. Is it getting him even more?
Michael, Jeff are out of the pits. And they're on the track.
Okay, so it's about a half a lap that you lose in the pits. Right, just approximately. So that gives us an idea. As Jeffrey.
All right, guys, tell me, is Jeffrey Decker going in or not?
Sam is going in. Decker
is going in. Oh, look at that.
And Decker is continuing. Yeah, let's keep an eye on Sam.
Mike Bowers is in the pits as well.
Keeping an eye and make sure he's not getting his tires changed.
Chris Herrera and Philip Jett are now in the pits.
Yeah, I'm curious what Leo Octarov is doing, because he's now right into that big pack. And Aaron lies in front of him. And is Leo Octarov coming out first? Yeah, Leo Octarov is still coming out first. And now Sam needs to work his way around. And he's actually getting who's behind him.
He's got Hounik past him. Michael Hounik's past him.
Michael Hounik and Steve Durr now is right behind Sam Devontier, and Jeff Snavely is behind Steve Durr.
And Steve, well, I mean, Steve's still got a pit. Did Jeff pit? I think he did, right?
Jeff he is still not in the pit yet. He's now going into the pits together with Max. And we do see that Leo is now overtaking Aaron La. And that means that Leo is getting full gas over here. And I do think... Let's have a quick look. Is Jeffrey Decker coming out? Jeffrey Decker is coming out. And Jeffrey Decker is passing Sam over here. But not Michael Hounik, because Michael Hounik could make that really nice move from Jeffrey Decker and Michael Hounik. But look at Leo. Leo is pushing it away.
It does look like Leo was, out of these top 5 runners, was the big winner on that first round of pit stops.
Yeah, and I do want to mention Sammy Bridges because he's now currently one of my favorite drivers in the first position. I don't know how long that's going to take, but he is doing really well on that first position and now goes into the pit, and that means that Leo Oktarov is going to make the official number 1, but with a big difference. Look at that, 1.5 seconds behind is Michael Hounik and Jeffrey Decker and Sam Devontier. They all lose time on him.
Yeah, they did. And it's going to settle down a bit. These guys catch up a little bit on Leo. I don't think with this shorter track that he's going to be able to keep that length of distance of lead.
Oh, I think you're wrong in this one. When you say go, Leo says when. And Leo just goes. I don't think they're going to see him anymore. If they're not going to...
I don't know. I think they'll catch him. It's,
all right, we'll see. But
right now.
I do have to say that I don't know if we are having the best league over here from the world or just from America, but Leo Oktarov definitely shows that he's a different class than anybody else currently. 1.7.
And Jeff is all over the back of Sam, who's right behind Jeffrey Decker and Michael Hounik. There's still 1.7 is the gap between Decker and between Hounik and Leo. It's now 1.73, 1.6.
So how is it going in the back? Scott Bell, how is he doing? He's driving a little bit on his own on the moment.
No, Scott is just still in his battle with Jeff Torbeck and Aaron Law, and is actually going side by side with Jeff as they come down the front straight.
Oh wow, I thought he was having an easy time, but no, it's very, very difficult. And is he going to hold this? Because
I've been keeping an eye on Scott. Scott's running a very, very busy race. He has not had a moment to rest this entire race so far.
To go into the turn too wide, Scott. Oh my God, that's so hard to do. I must admit, I am quite.
Let's have a quick look. Position number 9, Philip Jeté is getting really close to Chris Herrera on position number 8. Still amazed that Chris Herrera is so far up with that incident that he earlier had.
Yeah, but I've been monitoring that one also, and Philippe is about a tenth of a second faster per lap over the last 3 laps that I've been watching that pair. So he's just been slowly closing in on Chris. It's not enough of a pace difference to make it easy for Philippe to make a pass on Chris. So I think he's got his work cut out for him.
Yeah, and after that we see De Gurk and de Meer getting really chased by Carl Dronke. Carl Dronke had that incident and is now trying to get back up. Currently 22 position. That's not where Carl Dronke needs to be. But also Gurk and de Meer needs to move up. So maybe they can work together when they meet and see if they can take some spots. All right, Jeffrey Decker. Jeffrey Decker is getting really close. You would say that he would lead it. I don't want to put any bets on it, Ian, but currently it's 1.9 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say
Hounik run away.
I think you're right. I mean, but then you see Hounik did a 54.5, and Decker did a 54.4. So he's a tenth faster. But they're all running such consistent speed laps that but
the only difference is that Leo doesn't run it with any draft, same as Michael Hounik. They really need to push their cars on their own, and maybe with that second pit stop that could actually be beneficial for all the drivers behind there. And then I talk about Jeffrey Decker, Sam Devontae, and Jeff Snavely. Great to see Jeff Snavely back in the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I see Scott Bell has received a slowdown penalty and has had to give up time and position to both Jeff Torbeck and Aaron Law, P13, P14.
Oh, that sucks.
And right behind there, Steve Durr, Mark Reiner, and I think that's Chris Stewart for 16th position. If they do it a little bit smart, they can actually come back to Scott Bell, and that could be a 6-car battle.
Someone is just looking here. We've got a. Hold on. Who is Pyth151 on the chat? You can tell me.
I don't know about Lewis by personal. I do know Jeffrey Decker, and I do know that Jeffrey Decker is getting really close to Michael Haunick. Look at that, he's can nearly... Peter, you have a nice saying for that. Something with a blanket.
Yeah, you can cover those 4 cars with a blanket.
Well,
And,
that's definitely what you can do right now.
Hold on.
Medium-sized army blanket at that.
No.
It's,
No. You could cover those 4 guys with a exclusive Skippy blanket, Sunday night Skippy blanket, which you could purchase from our store.
Yeah, somewhere, sometimes.
Sometimes. It right now has no stock.
Yeah.
Well, currently, yeah, go ahead.
A question to ask is, which of these 4 drivers, Michael Haunick, Jeffrey Decker, Sam Devontier, and Jeff Snavely, who has the best pace right now? Because, in a way, if it's not Michael Haunick, it really hurts all 4 of these drivers in their attempt to catch up to Leo Ovtcharov.
Well, Decker is putting down a 54.444, which is the fastest of all of them. But then he's getting the draft from Haunick in front of him, so it doesn't necessarily mean he's the fastest guy. Right.
Now, I do want to go back to that battle with Jeff Torbeck and Aaron Law and Scott Bell, because Scott Bell's still in the last position, but he is getting a really good run. And I have to say, those guys in the back, those 3 drivers, are also getting a little bit closer. Currently, Jeff Torbeck is pushing Aaron Law into that first corner.
For the viewers who haven't driven on a track like this in the real world or in the virtual world, it's hard to describe what a roller coaster is. Up and down, there's serious compression when you hit the bottoms of these hills, serious air time at the top and crest of these hills. It's quite a drive.
Yeah, I'm curious about the first 3, because they're now also getting lap traffic. That's going to be very worrying, and that I've told that before. The blue flaggers are going to play a role up here, because it's difficult to pass people. It's difficult to give room over here. You don't want to give up your own room, and currently Brian Perez is in that position. And I do see that they're all taking the outside, really nicely done, and the whole group can go ahead. Michael Haunick was a little bit off track, and again, that is good for Leo.
Decker is going to get past him on the inside. He's going to push hard. And Decker takes that position away, and Decker's now in 2nd, Haunick 3rd. Jeff Snavely is in 5th with Devontier, taking a very wide corner round turn, the final turn, and lets Snavely climb through on the inside. They're going to go down into turn 1. Snavely backing out of it, I think. Maybe he felt he did a bit of a dive bomb there. It's so hard to judge sometimes these things. I think he gave precision back.
Alright, Ian, if you want to win some money back, this is your time, because this is the moment where Jeffrey Decker needs to put up his space. And I'm really curious what he's going to do. You immediately see that there's a distance between Michael Haunick and Jeffrey Decker. Jeffrey needs to now also go full out, can't wait anymore. Needs to catch up with Leo.
It is a 3-second gap from Jeffrey Decker up to Leo Ovtcharov. Of course, they do have still one more pit stop. It'll be a short pit stop, just enough to finish the race on fuel. But
now, while they go to the first corner, let's go back to Jeff Torbeck and Aaron Law and Scott Bell, because they have found a brother behind them. It's actually Steve Durr who can catch up with them, and they're now a foursome over here.
Sam Devontier sets a 54.264 to the fastest lap of the race. Come on, guys, let's get down to the 53s.
Yeah, I'm curious about Sam. Sam talked about it in Discord that he was in the fastest Skippy league, and suddenly he sees more than 3 people in front of him, or 3 people in front of him. I'm curious how he needs to respond to that, and I do think he needs to respond to Jeffrey Decker, because it seems that Jeffrey Decker is getting a little bit more space.
I'm sorry, we have an incident back in P15. I'm not too sure who that was, but it involves Scott Bell. Scott looks okay. But let's see, Aaron Law. Oh, it was someone in front of them went off track.
Well, I do think that Scott Bell had some troubles with that, because he had to go offside all along.
Yep. Yeah, that was Benjamin Harris, who missed turn 1, missed the apex in turn 1. I think caused Scott Bell to lift the throttle and lose gap
That's such a difficult place if anything happens in that corner, because you're coming over a blind crest, you're hitting that bump on the right hand side, on the inside of the apex of the corner. The car is off weighted, the road falls away to the left, and you're just so light. That's a tough place to have to deal with issues.
Boy, you are not kidding.
Interval to Cherov to Leo is now 2.9 seconds. So it looks like as
Sam goes in. Sam goes in.
Into the pits. Here's a strategy he's trying, I imagine, to see if he can find a way to jump everybody else.
In P7, Mike Bowers is now being pressured by Chris Herrera and Philippe Jeté for that 7th position.
Sam's on his way out of the pits, and he's going to come out in P10 with Bridges right behind him. Bridges.
So right Sam is taking a really interesting strategy. He's already done with his pit stops.
Yeah, it's an undercut strategy. You know, in the Gippy Formula 2 race, Jake Ashe and I, on our 2 pit stops, took a different strategy. Jake was trying to undercut. I was trying to stretch out and overcut. In the first pit stop, Jake won not only a position over me, but 2 positions over me. But then in the second pit stop, lost a position. And so it's leaving me a little confused about what's best at this short track.
It's really hard to tell, because it's such a short pit. You're not losing, well, relatively it's a short pit, but then the track's so short, so it's still half a track length. But I mean, if Sammy can stay where he is now, and Sam can keep it rolling, then he might be in a really good position when the next set of guys go into the pits.
Absolutely, I think.
Yeah, we do see now Leo Oktarov going very fast in that last corner, and I think he is not pitting. Oh, I thought he was going actually into the pit stop. Jeffrey Decker right behind there, and I do have to say we have some famous followers in our chat. I see Edwin Valerino. Wish he was back on the track with us, but he mentioned that Jeffrey needs to push and push and push, and that is exactly what he needs to do.
Decker had a really nasty little off there. Barely kept it. Almost took out Hownick. Hownick had to cut back right out of it.
Yeah, that's caused them to lose another 3 or 4 tenths to Leo Ostrov.
And they were starting to catch up with him.
3.2 seconds, that's all I say.
Yeah, I know. But let's see what happens. Is Leo pitting? Yes, Leo. Nope, he's not. He's staying out again.
Yeah, and all the other 3 are also staying out. We do see Mike Bowers going a little bit wide in that last exit.
You know, Ian, I don't know about you, but I felt like this was one track where being lighter on fuel really was helpful.
Yeah, I think so. It's hard to tell, because I mean, you spend so much of the time on this track in the air anyway. It probably is.
That's a good point.
Good gracious me.
Right, so how is Michael Hownick doing? Because he's getting really close to Jeffrey Decker. We thought that Jeffrey Decker was going to take it away. That's going to be different.
And Jeff Snavely's right there as well. I mean, the 3 of those guys are very close together. I'm surprised none of them are just kind of going, okay, well, let me dive into the pits and take my chances. While I think Sam Daventier is now set fastest lap at 54.264.
Yeah, Sam's definitely trying to do the undercut, and he is turning in some great laps. This is super interesting.
Yeah, and not only that, he's going to be far lighter than these guys for those final laps, because he's been running on the end of his tank, whereas they've just refueled. So it's going to make it very interesting to see how the end of this race pans out. So the gap is now 3.6 seconds between Leo and Jeffrey Decker.
Yeah, Leo just continues to stretch out his lead, but Leo is running about a tenth of a second slower per lap, at least recently, than Sam Devontier.
And Leo's in the pits.
Yep.
Leo has jumped in the pits. Decker is staying out, and so is Hownick and Snavely. They're all staying out, and Max de Guacamo, who's slowly catching up with a back marker, I believe it is. Is that Jeff Snavely? Yeah, with the back marker. As the other three, he can see them a little
Leo's
bit.
been released from his pit stall. He's on the pit exit road.
So now let's see where Sam is. And Sam is now behind Leo about 3 seconds back. No, yes, about 3.4 seconds back behind Leo.
3.4, yeah. And so
And Sammy is right still 0.3 of a second behind Sam. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the next set of pit stops play out with Michael, Jeffrey, and Jeff as they come up. Are they coming in? No, Jeffrey's staying out. Hownick and Snavely are both going in the pits. So let's see where they come out. Leo's here. Sam. And then Sammy Bridges are behind him.
looked like just Snavely overshot his pit stall, but he's in.
Oh, that sucks. When you have to
Chris Herrera is in the pits. Philippe Jeté is in the pits.
And Sammy Bridges and Sam Deventier are passing the end of the pit lane now and they pass Michael Hownick.
Yep.
Michael Hownick is now behind Sammy Bridges. Sammy Bridges has played a hell of a hand of cards here. Pim, you'll be very happy about that.
No, we did get a partial answer. It does look like the undercut by Sam Devontier did work to get him up into the effective P2.
Effective
we
P2,
are.
yeah. Well, we'll
Yeah,
see. I
although-
mean, Jeffrey
Yeah.
hasn't pitted yet, so.
No, and Jeff
Yeah.
Snavely had that incident on the entry. So that's the reason why he's over there. We see Max de Giacomo going into the pit while Jeffrey Decker continues and scores another bonus point over here.
Oh, and Jeff. Oh, come on, Sammy. As Hownick closes up on the back of Sam Bridges. Sammy Bridges going into the final corner as he comes streaming down the straightaway again. And just over 10 minutes left in the race. Just under, sorry.
Yeah, about 8.5 minutes left. So what, roughly 9 laps to go?
About that, yeah. As we see Aaron Lau in the pit lane. Sammy is trying to hold on to the back of an absolutely charging Sam Deventier.
Jeffrey Decker is now in the pit lane.
Okay, here we go. This is going to make it interesting. So, Leo is just about to hit the final turn. He's going around to the final corner now. He's on the start-finish straight. And now there is Sammy Bridges, Hownick, where's Snavely? And Jeff Snavely.
And I do hear that Jeffrey Decker is already starting, but that's a little bit late and he's getting out. But he can't make that work, and you do see that Leo had a lot of speed and is now immediately past him. But Jeffrey Decker suddenly only 1.8 seconds. And he is now also on his own. Look at that.
And he's in second place, so there you go. That's pretty good, actually. I'm surprised. I'm glad for Jeffrey. His strategy's working well.
Very well. And so we have, just to reset the running order at the top of the field, we have Leo Ovtcharov in P1, followed by Jeffrey Decker, Sam Devontier. Sammy Bridges is in P4, but still has yet to make a second fueling stop. And then Michael Hownick, Jeff Snavely, Max de Giacomo, Chris Herrera, Philippe Jeté, and Mike Bowers. And that is your top 10 at the moment.
And, Hownick went in there too deep. Almost lost overtook Bridges as Bridges piles into the pit lane for his final refueling stop. Probably like
Jeffrey Decker is back in the pits. I think he has some sort of pit lane violation, and that is being served. That penalty is being served now in the pit.
Oh mate, that's gonna drop him down the order.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's probably a 40-second hold. in
Yeah.
pit.
Speeding in the pits, I expect.
Oh, look at that. And that's going to be very interesting for the championship, because that means that Leo Ovtcharov actually has a really good chance to already make it work for him.
And Sam Deventier is in P2, Hownick's in P3, Jeff Snavely's in P4, Max de Guacamo's in P5, Chris Herrera's in P6, Philip Jete is in P7. Mike Bowers is in 8th. Gurkan Demir is in 9th. And Sammy Bridges has come out right behind Gurkan Demir. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry, I lied. Sammy Bridges is behind Gurkan Demir in 10th position.
Well,
Yeah,
a couple of drivers who have not had any time to rest this whole race are Jeff Torbeck in P14, being hotly pursued still by Steve Dewar in P15.
But where's Scott Bell? Because I can imagine that they were always together, and Scott Bell's a little bit behind there.
Yeah, Scott's running in P18 right now.
I think I heard from the chat that 5 of his fillings have fallen out and he was looking for them on the ground and it slowed him down.
We do see Aaron Lau on the 13th position. Currently our hard charger with 8 positions up. Nice jump from him.
Yeah, he's also, I'm sure he's relieved to have a little bit of clear track in front and behind him. He's been under pressure for so much of this race, but doing well right now.
That was a nice jump from Aaron Lau over that curve. He really went forward, the 4 tires off.
As we are now in the final 5 minutes of the race.
In P6, Chris Herrera is also now just running a super strong race, but he is being seriously pressured by Philippe Jete in P7, just right behind him.
Howard is trying to pass Sam Deventier. Almost had a little tap there, a little love tap. Managed to back out of it enough to make it not happen. But he is charging very hard behind him to try and get past him. Jeff Snavely's fallen off the back of them a little bit, and Max Guacamo can see Jeff Snavely now up in the distance. He's trying to push to catch him up, but I think he's going to run out of time with less than just under 4 minutes to go. Is that better? All right. Sorry about that, guys.
All right, and we see where are the most interesting fights, because Leo Octarov. So if Nicholas Mazza is ready to get a certificate, what is Leo? 5.2 seconds away from Sam Deventier and Michael Hounik, really close. He has every chance on that second position right now, but then he needs to make a move. He is in that draft.
Steve Dewar is still fighting hard with Jeff Torbeck as they go into T1.
Yeah, that's one battle, and Chris Herrera, Philippe Jete battle for P6 is also still really close. Now with only 4 laps remaining in this race.
As Chris has got, Steve has got somebody all over him. Who is that? Rayner is all over back Chris Stewart. Feels a little
it's even with Leo that far ahead, it's not over till it's over. It's so easy to place half of one wheel wrong on the grass and gravel here and just lose the car. And,
Oh, guys, look at Michael Hounik. I'm not sure if he can make it to the end of the race. He is pushing that car so hard. He wants to have that second spot, and he is really going to the edge.
He was very close to Sam Daventier, but had to back out of it because I think, as I said, he nearly gave him a little bump, and that has caused him to fall back. And Sam, I mean, look at the lap times. They're running in the 54.2s.
Yeah, they are both running identical lap times, Sam Daventier and Michael Hounik. Incredible.
Yeah, it's very fast.
Yeah.
Oh, we do see that Jeffrey Decker crashed in the back.
Oh, this has just not been his race with that pit violation. And
oh, he actually hit Sammy Bridges, and I think they're both okay, but that will hurt their even more.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's really bad. He's on that 11th position. Well, we do see that Leo is going for another extra lap, and if he's quick enough, we can go for another extra. So that could actually make some weird situation.
Well, if he's fast enough and it pushes an extra lap, those two have barely refueled, like just on the edge, are going to be wondering if they're going to make it all the way around the track.
Yeah, I don't think it will happen because there's 1 minute left in the race time, and so I don't believe Leo Oftroff will be able to cross the start-finish line more than once. So I think he'll get the white flag this time around.
Well, look at Michael Hounik. He's really getting close to Sam Devontae on that for that second position. Is he going to make a move over here? I don't think he's close enough, but you never know. You can plunge it in right over there, but he's not doing that. Still waiting for that last lap to actually overtake him and take that second position.
Yeah, and that's such a good place to overtake as well, going into that corner, because you can set that up a long time before the actual corner arrives.
And look at this old-timer Jeffrey Decker and Sammy Bridges going at it again, same place. And now Jeffrey Decker is actually going to take the inside, and he's making that move on the inside stick. Look at that, really nicely done. This works a lot better than what happened in the earlier position. And Jeffrey Decker fights his way up to the second position, to the 10th position.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. That taking that position as you go into that corner is one of the best places to see.
Yeah, we see it.
Gone off track in T6, and so now they're side by side with the final hairpin.
Hounik is now in second. Now he's going very deep into the corner. He went in too fast. He's going to take him on the line. Oh my God! Look at him! Oh wow!
Look at him! And Leo is already home, dressed up, and he's already showered and all. But here's Michael Hounik, who overtakes Sam Devontae on the right moment. And I do think that Sam Devontae is running out of gas. So that was very, very nicely done from Michael Hounik.
Sam had the position, but I think he sputtered on fuel exiting that last corner.
I saw him suddenly slow down because Michael went into the final corner way too hot, went too deep, had to brake, slid, and Sam was able to take the inside corner.
All right, guys, last fight over here, very important. Position number 16. Chris Stewart is fighting over here with Mark Reiner, and Carl Dronke is just getting in, and Chris is winning that part.
Boy,
that was a good race. Oh my sweet gracious me!
Wow. This race had pretty much everything in here.
What a race!
Yeah. Well, a great P4 by Jeff Snavely, and wow, a P5 for Max DiGiacomo. Chris Herrera back, finishing P6. Philippe Jeté in 7. Mike Bowers, Gurkan Demir, Jeffrey Decker in 8, 9, and 10. Just great job by all. I think Jeffrey Decker really had the misfortune of what we presume was a pit speed violation.
Yeah, hopefully we'll hear from him. After the race, he'll come in the broadcast booth and we can have a chit chat with him.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything if he doesn't come, because I can also imagine that there's a lot of disappointment. But I always like it when Jeffrey comes over here. Maybe Leo is more happy because he really executed this race as just a master that he is. Leo, tell us, when did you thought, okay, now it's time to go?
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. After the first pit stop, I made just enough of a gap so I can try to build on it, and I was able to keep it clean, not spin myself out like I've been doing in the pubs, and yeah, I managed to pull it off. I'm really, really happy with this one.
That was a great race, mate. That was a great race, and you led it from the front the entire way.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. Especially on that track, any small misstep is death.
Oh yeah. I don't know about the guys who did the 24 hours of Daytona and then came and did this, but I did the SF2 race and I was shattered at the end of it.
Leo, that was just such a masterful drive. But the first half of the race, there was serious pressure. You had 4 really fast cars in your rearview mirror. Was there pressure? How are you feeling in that first half?
Yeah, I was definitely feeling the pressure, and I saw that it was just the 4 of us holding hands the entire way. But my main focus and goal was to try to do what I can to just make as clean laps as possible, and not take us all out, not take myself out. So that was where really my focus was.
Well, also, Leo, one of the things that seems to have just noticeably improved race by race is how you manage refueling stops. And so you're consistently either maintaining gap or growing gap over a lot of the other drivers. And so I'm guessing that's something that you've also been working on. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's something that I really needed to work on since really last season, and even like partly the part way before the season before that. And it seems to be working out pretty well. But I mean, the margins are pretty narrow, especially when it's like Jeffrey and I, and now that Sam's in the mix, like the margins are going to get much more narrower.
Well, I did have the thought that it must have been a relief, at least, not to have to do a pit exit side by side with Jeffrey Decker.
Yeah, this time we didn't end up doing a pit exit side by side, as is tradition.
Jeffrey Decker, we do have Jeffrey Decker in the booth.
Yeah, let's have a quick question. Jeffrey, that's going to be a tough race. We saw a couple of things happening. Great that you're here. I love it when a race goes well, you're here, but when a race goes not so well, you're also here. You had a top 10, but tell us your story about this race.
Actually, everything went to plan. I didn't qualify the best, but that's okay. That happens. We got fast guys in here. But I just spent the first day saving as much fuel as I could, and I think I saved like I stayed out 2 or 3 more laps longer than Leo, and some of the other guys I pitted, and then was able to stay out even longer than anyone else in the lead pack. I wanted to just keep that saving for the final pit stop. And came out in P3, and then went in a little bit later and came out in P2. Unfortunately, just on the exit, I looked at my relatives at the wrong time, and was a little bit used to the pit limiter from doing Daytona this week, and I was like 5 kph over, and I just got a 15 second stop go. Otherwise, I came out. Man. Killer. I think it was within 2 seconds of Leo, and that was kind of just the hope, is just to jump into P2 and ride it out from there. So, yeah, my own mistake, a little one. I just paid attention to the wrong thing at the wrong time. But yeah, big congrats to Leo, big congrats to the whole podium. Yeah, we're gonna have to write this one off, I think.
It's so easy to do on this track, though, because I mean, it's just relentless. It really is. I mean, there are a few tracks that are relentless, but for such a short track, this thing just doesn't quit.
Well, and that pit entry is also just crazy. You get all that compression on the uphill entry, incredibly short braking. And I was always on the edge, and so it's not surprising. But Jeffrey, it did look like in those pit stops, because of fuel saving, you were the one out of that top 5 group that made up a couple of seconds of gap on Leo. So when you came out, that must have looked good to you. Is that how it looked at from where you were sitting?
Yeah, I mean, it looked good for about a second. Yeah. I caught it. I saw that I was over, and I did a big lift. It was just, it was too late. But like I said, all in all, the race went pretty much exactly as I planned after qualifying, and just had a little bit of a mental error. But like I said, it happens. You save some drop weeks for these sorts of things. So
yeah, I think
hope that this is one of those.
Yeah, definitely, Jeffrey. I do think that Leo can talk about that. Had some unfortunate incidents the last races, so glad to see you again here on the top. Leo, what are you gonna practice for the next week? What do you have to improve?
Pretty much everything. I mean, it's always, you're always chasing improvement. Any little thing, any little advantage, any little bump in the road that gives you like a fraction of a tenth. I mean, you're always looking for something, So I would say just try to keep on building and improving on everything that I am able to do.
Well, Leo, I think you and together with Michael, Jeff Snavely, Max DiGiacomo, and of course Jeffrey Decker really shows that this is one of the fastest leagues of this broadcast, maybe even of the world. But I love always your fights. I think it's great that we have more drivers than just you two. It's not the Jeffrey Decker and Leo Oktarov show anymore. We're gonna have more people in the front, and you need to be fast. But thank you for an awesome race.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
And we do have our P5 and P6 finishers, Max DiGiacomo and Chris Herrera now.
I was just saying, can I say Max DiGiacomo? Welcome.
Excellent, excellent.
So
Yeah, guys,
it's
I haven't
not
been on
Austria,
for a
huh?
while. I just wanted to say thank you for the broadcast, boys. I appreciate you guys, man. I haven't been on in a while. I just wanted to tell you guys.
Yeah, well, you know, we love doing it. We love doing it, but how was your race, mate? How did you find it?
It was crazy. I just tried to keep up to those guys. I lost them at the beginning, and then I couldn't catch up. Forget about it.
Well,
yeah, and
Max,
of course.
it looked like an incredibly busy race, though. You know, were there moments when you just were hoping for just a little bit of clear track and not not have so much pressure to think about, or you know, how did it go for you?
Yeah, I got lucky. I was behind the mic for a while, and then I happened to clear him, and then I had clear track pretty much the whole way. I had Chris at about 2.5 seconds behind, and so I was just trying to stay in front of him, and that was my whole race.
Yeah, because that was also an interesting part. Chris Herrera back on the track. We have him here in the booth. Chris, welcome to be back on the track. I'm always excited to see you. Never afraid to have a fight. How was your race?
Hey, Pim. Thanks for that awesome welcome. And hey, everybody. I just wanted to come and say hello. It's been a while, but I'm back now. And my goodness, I was talking with Max in the interview standby room, just talking about lamenting how I wasn't able to find the last half second or so that it seems Leo and Jeff and the rest of those guys have on me, which a little frustrating, but at the same time, it's awesome to see them going that fast. But as for today's race, I had Philippe Jet on my rear wing, I think for 90% of the race, and that was very, very stressful. I think he and I probably had very, very equivalent pace, and if I had made, you know, just a single significant mistake, he probably would have gotten ahead of me. But luckily for me, I didn't, and that was a fun race. And then towards the end, Max was 2.4 to 2.6 seconds ahead, and it seems I couldn't consistently be faster than him to catch up with him. So great race on Max, but my goodness, this was a tough race, but fun at the same time. And but you know, I'm glad to see it in the rearview mirror now.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people going to say that.
Same.
All right, let's go a quick round of all the drivers. For any shout-outs, let's start with Chris. Chris, do you have any shout-outs? Great that you have that you're back up here.
Absolutely, yeah. Shout out first of all for running on empty, my awesome fan club, but also Pim. Shout out to you. You're always so excited to see me, and that makes me pumped up. So thank you.
All right. So does that also mean you promise to come back next race?
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to be here for the next race, and then probably one after that.
Awesome. So Leo, back onto the podium, back onto that first position. Any shout-outs from your perspective?
Yeah. All of you guys in the broadcast booth for doing such an awesome job. To Shake and Bake Racing for doing such an awesome job during the 24th Daytona, keeping the name strong. And for our newest member in Sunday Night Skippy, Sam Devantier, welcome. Glad to see you here, and I look forward to seeing you more up front as well.
Yeah, well, he made a very interesting fight, definitely.
And of course to Jeffrey. Cheers, man. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I blame Daytona.
Jeffrey, we all blame Daytona. But still, any shout-outs?
Yeah, the wifey. She was super patient with me this weekend. I mean, I did 5 hours yesterday at the car, plus, you know, spotting and stuff. So, big thanks to her. To Leo, you know, big shout out on the win. I knew you'd get back up there. I was expecting it to be this week. You didn't disappoint. And then, yeah, just big congrats to Hownick, Sam. Welcome back, Herrera. You guys, everyone, you know, just everyone. Lando,
Awesome.
the puppy, you know, everybody.
I was just thinking, you forget Lando, but of course he's there. No worries, really nice. And then as last, Max, great to see you back in top 5. Any shoutouts from your point?
Shout out to you guys for doing a good job week in, week out to the whole league. Jason Bice to introducing me into this great league. Shout out to Jason, man. Thanks a lot, guys.
Nice. Yeah, I do have to say, Jason, I'm glad that he's actually driving again here in the skip. And when he does, he always does really well. Great that you give him a shout out. Peter, Ian, I want to thank you guys for a great broadcast. Great to have Chris, but if they're not, then I know that I can always count on you guys, even after a very exciting Formula 2 race. So thank you and thank everybody else. Peter, any last words?
Well, I'm just looking at the scoring, and these guys raced hard for 49 laps. I think that's just a crazy number. They just put on a great show. It was fun to watch. Definitely.
Well, Ian, thanks very much for joining us yet again in the booth, and we will definitely love to hear you next Sunday.
Absolutely. I do plan on being back again. I really do enjoy doing the broadcasts of the SF1 races. It takes my mind off of the disaster of my SF2 races, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah, well, I think you're saying something really right, because everybody's always like, oh, so great about the broadcast. We have a lot of fun in this. And it's great to do this. Really, some friendships started up here, and with racing, it's always fun. So I want to thank everybody who's watching this. Always their support. Even when I have to do it on my own, I know I can count on you guys to help me out. So great job, and I wish everybody a happy week. And we'll see each other, I think, on Monday. Cav K's Racing Network is back on the ATC, and otherwise we will see you next Sunday.